2022 with a very special guest. He's not a guest of Pros and Joes, but he's a guest on our podcast. Tyler Wooldridge, been a good friend for many years. We grew up in church at Phoenix First Assembly, Dream City Church, now Dream City Church. Tyler was a golf prodigy. Our love of golf, you started playing in our scrambles when you were about 13.
Yep.
Played at Grand Canyon. Got yourself to a +5, +6, made a run, played in a bunch of pro events, ended up caddying for 4 years on Korn Ferry?
Right at 3.
3 years,
Yeah.
okay, for Tane Lee. And you've got a golf business and lots of fun. Married a year, baby on the way. So we'll talk about a lot of that fun stuff. Kent Chase, how's your week going?
Great. I can't wait to learn more. I mean, I love Tyler, but this is going to be fun. I don't think I know the rest of the story.
Oh, well, we've been having a lot of fun for a lot of years. And,
you said you grew up together. What do you mean by that? Because you look older than Tyler.
So yes, we didn't grow up I was growing into an old man from a young man to an old man. He was growing from a youth into a.
And can I clarify this +5, +6 is the other side of 0? Because some of the viewing audience says, he's a 5 handicap. I thought you said he played on the tour. No, +5. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, that's 5 better than scratch. So explain that.
So +5 means he's better than you. If you're watching,
if you're a
most
scratch,
likely.
Yeah.
So I was with him one day, and we were coming down the 18th hole at Starfire, and he needed an eagle to shoot 59. And Hacker didn't make it. Had to settle for 60.
Oh.
That's a joke. Obviously, that's an excellent round, but
My best is 62, and that's pretty good. Putting for 59.
yeah, you've had some course records over the years.
Played Rancho Manana. I shot 61 there. Had the course record. I think Mark Reeder actually has the course record out there, if I'm not mistaken.
Mark Reeder, named for Blast from the Past.
That.
Yeah, you're probably watching, Mark. Congratulations on that.
Wow.
But you played. You lettered for 4 years. You were one of the counters, I guess, as it may, at Grand Canyon. You played with the Muellers back in that era.
What's a counter?
So they
You mean you were one of the top 5?
Yeah.
A counter.
What your
That's what he
scores?
calls it.
Oh, that's what he calls it. I'm just checking because I know the teams always have.
I knew what he meant.
I kind of knew. I was feeling good about it, but
a counter meaning you're one of the scores that count.
I mean, because some of the audience
That's
always says, "What do you mean by that word?" We said, "You don't count."
People would have never. Joes, listen, the pros are on that side. Us Joes that want to act like we've been there before, but never have. We're just kind of hanging on.
So you're a counter. I was thinking he might keep score. The counter, some people might think, do you
He's done that. He does that. He keeps Tane's score on the scorecard.
Oh, caddy. That's, counter. Yeah. That's what, So, I got it figured out now.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I told you, Tyler, when you said, what are you getting into? The clown show.
Yep. Well, now I know you were a counter, but I knew that. I mean, but I just didn't know that term.
Yeah. You, I mean, as a freshman, you were competing, playing.
I played really well my freshman year.
Yes.
I was newcomer of the year and then freshman of the year for a conference as well.
So he helped put Grand Canyon on the map because they were kind of up and coming back then.
Yeah. I mean, they've definitely come a long way since I was there, but it was fun to see the expansion of the school and where they've come since I graduated as well.
Well, Kent Chase, you've had hole-in-ones before.
Yes.
How many have you
7
had?
hole-in-ones.
7 hole-in-ones.
Yeah.
I've had 4 hole-in-one lip-outs.
Oh, wow.
Tyler.
Oh, you mean none of them ever went in?
No.
Bad break,
lip-outs,
unluck.
not lip-ins, lip-outs.
Mm-hmm.
So we've talked about that.
Have you had more than 7?
I've had 6. I just
But
had my 6th one.
Did you?
Yep, not too long ago, a couple
But
weeks ago.
for professional golf, that's like 200 par on a hole. It's exciting, but man, I'm trying to get more into par, and that's 200 on one hole. That's more important.
that was in the mid-am qualifier, right? Or the practice round. So, but have you ever had a hole-in-one on a par 4?
I've came close like your lip-out things, but no.
Never.
No.
Have you ever had a hole-in-one on a par 4?
I did that at the 2015 Nevada Open.
Wow. Not a practice round.
Yeah, it was in the tournament.
Wow.
In a professional tournament.
That's
313 yards, and we saw it go in the hole.
Wow. Straight away?
Yeah, it was pretty straightaway. A little dog-leg, right? But I mean, you could see.
You can see the.
everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Is that your only hole-in-one on a par 4?
I did it once before at Tatum Ranch as well.
2 hole-in-ones
Yeah,
on par
par
fours.
fours.
Number 12.
What are the odds of that?
Wow. If you can make a hole-in-one, 1 in 10 million, a hole-in-one on a par 4 is 1 in a billion. I don't know. I don't know the math on that, but
It's
it doesn't
very
happen
rare.
very
It's
often.
only happened once on the PGA Tour. It was
Okay.
actually here at the
Andrew McGee on number
off that
17.
putter when it bounced in the hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember that shot?
I do.
That was the
I
best
do.
fun shot to watch ever.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's a plaque on the tee box representing
Yeah.
Andrew McGee's hole-in-one on that hole.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there you go, pros and Joes. You've seen Tyler. We had some good content over some crazy lies at Moon Valley earlier this year. We were hitting from some pretty crappy lies in the cold weather. I saw us all bundled up in our jackets. If you haven't seen that, take a look at it. It's pretty telling. We put some bad lies. Kent Chase, if he was there, he would have loved that for his Faith Over Fear series.
I love, working the ball out of problems is actually easier than one thinks. And when you're in higher level tournaments, it seems like your ball sometimes knows how to get in those bad places. But he and I have practiced those kind of things just
I
in
practice
case.
too.
In case.
I want to be part of the club.
Just in case. So we kind of have fun with that. It's almost an opportunity to show off, or sometimes to pull it off, and then it inspires you to victory because you've done a couple of bad shots that get you in trouble. You get out of the trouble, you get it up and down. Something crazy happens, and that's almost better than making a birdie or an eagle sometimes.
So would you say that's a good segue into one of the topics tonight? What are the things that amateurs like myself, the Joes, we don't do that pros do? Like a few things that I know watching on, just some of the guys that put content out there, like the TaylorMade content. These guys are relentlessly practicing their short game. I mean, they'll putt 10, 15, 20 hours a week. They're hitting short game shot after short game shot. And, most Joes I see, guys at the driving range, they hit the driver good and they practice hitting their driver. It's like, well, why aren't you practicing your wedges? I know guys out there that aren't very good wedge players. They never practice their wedges. And they're just busting driver after driver. And it's like, well, maybe if you practice the areas that you're not as proficient in. But what have you guys seen? Tyler, we'll start with you.
I think course management is the big thing for sure, in my opinion. With what I've seen, the difference between the pros and the Joes. It's really, maximizing what you have to work with and then minimizing your mistakes at the same time. 'Cause that's really a big thing, especially because, all the pro-ams that we go to, you see how they just try and whack away and hit as far as possible. But you're really looking for a target on each hole that represents the easiest way to make a par and then kind of work your way from there, in my opinion.
Well, I have a tough one on that. People that are maybe 7 or 6 or 5 handicap or less, or better, they could learn how to manage their way around the course. People that are 8, 9, 10 and above, they don't know where their ball's going. So how in the heck are they supposed to manage their way around the course? So that's the problem. Because if the driver's all over and then they go beat balls on the driving range and don't learn how to short game it. They need short game worse than anybody. But it's not you're right. The people don't know how to manage their way around the golf course, but a lot of the people, like
even those higher handicappers, like when we're in the pro-ams, they'll be in the rough and they'll keep trying to hit 3 woods and topping.
They could learn how to wedge it out and stuff.
Things like that. Anybody can work on their course management and definitely save a lot of shots.
There's definitely some conversation we could have on what it means to manage your way around the course and how a good player versus a bad player or a Tiger Woods versus a 25 handicapper or a beginner manages their way around the course. Because my problem is a lot of beginning golfers, part of their first couple of lessons is let's go learn how to manage your way around the course, and they're hitting grounders still. Yeah. So, but yes, we have some good conversation right there.
Yeah, I think once, and I'll say from my perspective, one of the things I didn't learn till later in life, and in fact, you turned me on to Decade Golf, Scott Fawcett, and I just learned from watching the guys on TV glorify Tiger Woods hitting a missed shot to his outermost scatter factor onto the pin. And what Scott Fawcett does, shout out to Scott Fawcett, Decade Golf, he'll show the caddies and the player's voice and then the announcer. and like Tiger Woods, like, oh, I missed it right. Well, his miss right was onto a sucker pin tucked behind a bunker, and he's up 4 feet. And the announcers are like, Tiger Woods takes dead aim, hits courageous shot to 4 feet.
They don't understand his aim point. Exactly.
Well, correct. But a Joe like me that has no idea, I see that and think I should fire at every flag like Tiger Woods does, because the announcers are glorifying it. And the reality is, he wasn't aimed there. He just missed there. And the miss turned out really good. He was aiming 20 feet left, right? Because if he pulled it left...
I read something once that he aims at about 4 to 5 pins around.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Well, Kent said they set up, there's about 6 pins that...
Usually, and me playing golf,
too.
Any tour you go to, pretty much the attempt is 6 easy pin placements, difficulty factor-wise easy, 6 medium difficulty factor pin placements, and 6 hard pin placements. So you should have 6 take dead aim, 6 you got to think about it a little bit, and 6 we're probably better have a different aim point that's within your own personal scatter factor ability level that creates safety and not fear of the problem. So we don't. Fred Couples at the when he won the Masters that year, and the announcers did what he said, and he was hitting to the middle of the green day 4. And he started it right at the flag. And the announcer says, my gosh, what's he doing? He's taking dead aim at this thing. He's hitting it right at the flag. Why would he do that? He's leading. And then it lands short and then backs up, and you know how it's going to go in the water. How in the world his ball didn't go into the water and stopped where he had to stand in the water, and he got it up and down for par?
Yeah.
And at the end, in front of all the, what do you call it when they go into the hiding room back there and they're all doing their little question and answer session? And Freddie, why in the heck would you aim at that pin on number 12 on amen corner? What the heck, man? And Fred said, are you serious? You really think I was aiming there? I wasn't aiming there. I had my own personal pin placement. And he said, you know, the difference between Jack Nicklaus and me is Jack Nicklaus, when he aims at his personal pin placement, away from, let's say, number 12, day 4, Sunday at the Masters, he hits it there. Me, I aim at it, but I kind of know where the real pin is, and I accidentally swing over there. That's what happened. And so that's the real truth too, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good call.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder, I think, so great segue, Fred Couples. So another thing pros do, they're fitted for all their equipment. They're not just randomly going into PGA Superstore and too often buying something off the rack. Now, Tyler, I know back in the day you thought there was some voodoo stuff in all the clubs I was getting, and you were, a lot of a field player, and you could adjust your swing to the clubs, which great players can do that. But these guys on tour, I mean, they have tour vans. They have, like, if they're getting a putter, they're getting it fitted for them and cut to length, and by the time they play, they have a piece of equipment that's fitted for them. And so most amateurs, it's like off the rack, something my grandpa gave me, whatever, starter set, hand-me-down set, but never think of possibly getting shafts fitted for them, getting their lie angles bent right. And how much do you think equipment matters? We always say, is it the archer or the arrow? Now, at Pros and Joes, we believe that better arrows make better archers. So, what do you think, Tyler?
I mean, I would definitely say it depends on the skill level of the player, but no matter what the skill level is, it still matters to some extent. But definitely, like a very beginner, they got to have the right equipment to start at that level. But you obviously are going to progress as you get there.
Yeah.
I think it depends on where your stage is in your career of golf for sure, and how much you need to rely on that. But I think no matter what level you have, it's definitely important.
Yes.
So we have a Catch the Vision Ministry. J.D. Hill's tournament is coming up.
Did you have a wardrobe?
It came off, and I don't know how to get. Oh, it's a magnet. So the deal the thing that we're giving to.
I think you're upside down. Twist that.
Okay.
There you go.
Tell me. I think we're going to have a minute.
There you go.
Talking about this.
Okay, good.
Okay.
It's all live. This is how you know it's unedited. So go ahead, Ken.
The idea is somebody's going to win a really neat prize. It's golf training to get a golf swing to make it worthy of being fitted. And then once the fitting occurs, VIP fitting with ping, fitted, and then the clubs, and then new lessons with properly fitted clubs.
That's going to be at JD's tournament on the 26th at Dobson Ranch.
I have a gift certificate.
Shout
right
out to JD Hill. How does a person win this? First, they got to sign up.
I'm not sure what we're going to use for the victory.
But first, they got to sign up for JD's tournament and be at the tournament.
100%.
So sign up for JD Hill's tournament. Catch the Vision. You can find that online. That was a great plug. Shout out JD.
Shout out JD Hill. Thank you for everything you do for so many people, including me. And this to me is huge because you could just, hey, I need new clubs. I'm starting the game of golf. Let me go get my new clubs off the shelf. Or they told me I need to be fitted. And if the person has the money to go get fitted, then they get fitted and they bring whatever swing they got to the table. And that's not the swing that we want them to have because it's a brand new golfer, 40 handicapper swing. And it'd be better to kind of give the guy a little potential with the swing and maybe now let's go get fitted. Now let's see where we go. And then we can adjust as we go along.
Yeah, so I'm talking about people that play golf. Like a guy in a, and I've seen some of these guys on the pro-ams, like you would not want to be staying on the rope line because you're going to get killed.
Yeah, like Jerry Ford.
But I'm saying people that relatively, they can play golf. They can hit the ball and not hit grounders. They can get their irons airborne. Billy Horschel, we talked about this a while back, but he sent his old clubs in when he went from one manufacturer to the other. And his clubs were 2 degrees too upright. And he played like 2 seasons on tour. And he was still making cuts. But he didn't realize he was fighting that hook because of his equipment.
Right.
He was a good enough player to get by with that. But then once he figured it out, next tournament, he's on the top of the leaderboard. And so here's a guy that could play with clubs that are 2 degrees too upright, which if you know anything about clubs, if your toe is upright, you're going to hook the ball. I mean, 2 degrees is going to make your ball.
Because that's aiming there.
Aiming to the left,
it's hard to explain on camera, but yes.
Yes. And so, but he was good enough to keep his tour card. I mean, the guy is good enough. He's won a tour championship before. I mean, he's a good player.
Oh, yeah.
But 2 degrees too far upright, once he got his clubs fixed, then it put him right on the leaderboard.
Changed everything.
So it does matter. How about club setups? Like this is interesting. This week, I read in My Golf Spy, it's one of the publications that us Joes really like to read, and it said, what is the worst club for a person in their bag? And they did strokes gained, strokes lost. So they're always saying, what are you good with? Strokes gained means how much better to par you are with a certain club. And strokes lost are, okay, what club makes your scores worse? And they found from scratch up to 25 handicappers. What do you think you want to guess? Kent Chase, you want to take a guess?
I don't know if I want to guess that, but short game is the problem people have. They're not good at putting. They're not good at specialty shots around the green. They all want to be good at driving. They a lot of out of bounds with drivers. But what's the worst club? Nobody hits 1-irons anymore, so it's not that. I'm going to have to go with people aren't very good at putting. But I don't know where you're going with this.
No, I'm Tyler. You want to take a guess?
Well, I
we were talking about it. Okay, the answer is a 5-iron.
Okay.
That is the worst club.
And Arnold Palmer said, "Why are they using 5-irons?" I wasn't. Yeah.
And so like you guys know, I took my 5-iron. I'll swap it in and out of my bag. I put a 9-wood in the bag, and people make fun of me. Some of the guys in the club like, "Oh, you got a 9-wood, Grandpa." But I could do things with that 9-wood, hit it high, hit low spinners. Like there's shots I can hit with the 9-wood that I can't hit with a 5-iron. Now, if I need to keep it down and it's windy, sometimes I'll pull the 5-iron, I'll swap it in and out. But predominantly, I've been hitting that 9-wood. And Fred Couples, who we were talking about, do you know what the longest iron in his bag is currently?
I think you said 7-iron.
7-iron. He plays a 6 hybrid, a 5
But he
hybrid, a
doesn't
4 rescue,
need the
a
long
5
irons very much.
wood,
He hits it so far still.
a 5 wood,
Yeah.
a 3 wood, and a driver.
So let me add something to this. Daniela Makapani was on the LPGA tour for all those years, and she told me this story. They used to have a tournament every year, the LPGA playing division versus the LPGA teaching division. And the LPGA players, as we progressed with the equipment, were using 7 woods, 9 woods, 11 woods, and the teaching division was still using 1 irons, 2 irons, and 3 irons. But they didn't know by getting fitted properly that the LPGA Tour professionals had learned that they're going to hit their 9 woods and 7 woods and 11 woods closer to the hole than 1 irons, 2 irons, and 3 irons. So they were doing it by shot making and what the facts were, as opposed to pros hit with 1 irons. And yes, we can talk about 1 irons and why they're different now than they were, and why we don't even have 1 irons. But 2 irons, 3 irons, we're not going to hit those. Fred Couples is aware of that. So because in the fitting, it's not just fitting for the loft and the lie and the shaft and the flex point and the flex of the flat. The whole fitting process also includes what's the best golf club to use from any given distance from anywhere. So that's part of the fitting process.
So Tyler, out there on Korn Ferry Tour, what have you seen? Have you seen any crazy setups? Guys are starting to put 7 woods in the bag.
Yeah, there's a lot more 7 woods for sure. I would say 20-25% of the guys out there are throwing the 7 woods. And it all depends on course conditions as well.
Yeah.
But a lot more guys are using 7 woods for sure.
That would have been unheard of years ago.
Yeah.
Because it was like embarrassing. What are you doing with a 7 wood?
What, you think it was more pride and ego?
In the day, and we didn't know that it was going to be better.
I think you've mentioned that too, even with like transition to cavity back for given clubs, like when you transition
blades,
over
yeah.
into from blades over into ping, which have a bit of forgiveness. You want to feel your misses, right? And we've talked about that a lot.
But it's so nice to learn the truth. You are better with better clubs.
Sweet spot. Nothing feels better than that. You had those Wilson FG 62s. Those were some of the prettiest, and you hit those far. But
the greatest thing for me, and my first 62 in my life was with ping, and I was knocking flags down. That terminology where you're just...
Was that the berylliums?
Ping I2 berylliums. How many birdies are you making all of a sudden that I never used to make, because everything's a good shot? And it's like, that's when I learned how to score. Really, I learned how to score when ping I2. That's when I didn't have to, I didn't need to feel my mishits. I needed to watch my nice, another birdie putt all day.
Yeah. Especially if you're a good putter like you are.
Yeah.
You're a good putter. But I think there is some of that. We fight, some of us, especially men. That's another thing, right? Women don't have the same egos that men do on the golf course. Like, and I'll ask you this, Tyler, right? Like, would you say most men under club, because they always think they're gonna like the miss? Typically, when I'm out with guys, we're not pro level, but
I would say definitely, especially in the programs that we've seen.
Everyone's under clubbing, right? Because
95% of the shots are short.
Because my ego says, "Hey, I hit my 7-iron 170 that one time."
Yeah.
So now I've logged in my mind that I can hit my 1-iron, my 7-iron 170. Therefore, I hit my 7-iron 170, right? And it's like, no, what do you like? I tell people, like they're like, how far do you hit your driver? I said, about 250, 260. They're like, no, you hit it farther than that. I'm like, if I catch it on the right jerk, I can hit it farther than that. But normally, I know who I am, and I'm not too proud to know about what I hit it. Because if I start playing golf thinking I'm hitting it 300, like I did 20 years ago when I was young and lifting weights, then I'm fooling myself.
Be a little disappointed.
What do you think about that, Kent Chase? What do you think about people, the male ego?
I think bomb and gouge is where it's at, and bad golfers try to bomb and gouge. Like, people are hitting it so long on the tour right now. It's stupid, and the ball goes so far right now. and the clubs hit the ball further, everything, and then the final Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they see everybody bombs it. They want to bomb it too. So it's hard to get your mindset, and I think for people. But also people like you are using your speed sticks and your training hard to gain more speed because you don't like hitting at 250.
Or not to lose. Like I'm at 100, and this kid I was joking because I rangefinder and I go, hey man, he's 75 past you.
That's stupid, I know.
But Tyler made birdie and he made par, so we're like, yeah, take that, long hitter. But
yeah.
But it's
but Bryson DeChambeau and Dustin Johnson and some of those people and Rory and Tiger and far and hit at 350. It's an easier sport up there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, even 330. I mean, that's 3 clubs less into the green, right? Like instead of hitting a hybrid, or a 9-wood, like.
People have this theory, and pretty much everybody has it, that they need to steer away from particular yardages. Maybe they're good at a lot of pressure. What if those were called weak points that you don't have the ability? Instead of identifying that as I just don't hit there, how about get good at those yardages? That way, the closer you are to the hole, the less club you got in, the shorter shot you get in, which makes sense if you gain
your favorite yardage in. And I'm like, as close as I can be.
Thank you.
Like, I don't know. Can you get me to 30 yards? Can you get me to 50? How close can you? Well, like I'm thinking, and I don't want to call him out, but there's a guy in my club that's playing in our hacky games like a 6 handicap, and if he's 50 and there's nothing in front of him.
Weeks ago, he wanted to know what is my definition of good, and the only answer I could give him was, if you were an amateur, they won't let you play in PGA Tour qualifying school, USGA tournaments like US Amateur, US Junior Amateur, or even US Senior Amateur, unless you're a 4 handicap or less. So I said, my opinion, I'm going to have to go with who they are, because they don't think you're good enough to play in those tournaments, because they don't want you in the tournament unless you're 4 handicap or less, because they don't want people that aren't good players. So going with that, can you find any 4 handicappers or less that are putting it from 60 yards and 40 yards and whatever you just said? And I don't know the man that you told me is a 6 handicapper that's doing that, but he didn't get into the 4 and under category. So yeah, I mean.
So good's a relative, right? So we have a lot of Joes that watch this, and like a 6 handicap to many Joes, that's cheap golf ball you can buy, inexpensive golf ball. It's not cheap. I mean, if you buy a dozen, they're $39. If you get 2, it's $70. If you buy 4 dozen, it's $119. And like I said, cart paths and trees and getting my money's worth. And those
wedges cut it up?
They don't.
No?
Shocking. Like you over 105, and then for mid it was like in the top 3. So the Max Fly Tour, it's a 3-piece ball, and it's really good. So they're both.
There you go.
And Ben Griffin just qualified for the Ryder Cup.
There you go.
So.
Well, if somebody on the tour is using it and winning and qualifying,
we talked about, right? They finally have a major after all these years, and sold their company for $200 million.
That's all they needed.
That's all they needed. So Ben Griffin, winner on tour, and I think he was down. Tyler, do you have any final remarks? Anything you can think of?
I would just say, if you want to get better, work with Kent on the swing, and then be sure and work on your course management as well, because I think that's also important.
Oh, that was a great lead-in. Kent Chase, if people want to get a hold of you to get some lessons, how would they do that?
Text only at the following phone number, 602.
Currently.
Yeah.
Until through Overseas.
If it's cold, then we'll go at 9 a.m.
But currently, 8 a.m., Sun City Country Club. Kent has a free family fun day clinic from 8.
What it's like to be in front of an audience, and teach them that if you have these skills, can we put it in front of an audience, or does it change things because it's more pressure? And ultimately, it's a fun thing for my students.
Came to one. I got out of the car. I was
put you right
late,
on the spot.
And Kent's like, all right, come over here and hit a drive.
Yeah.
So,
and you did it.
I did it. Yeah, I hit the first one, a little hard draw, and then I hit another one. So he let me hit 2 shots. And I'm like,
you knew what you were doing, you said, and you proved it.
No, I said, I'm not ready to hit this shot.
And you did it. You just relied on the way you do it.
It was a lot of fun. Anyway, Pros and Joes, get the word out. Thank you for following us if you see us, like and subscribe at Pros and Joe's Golf. Tyler, if someone wants to get you, you're on Instagram.
I don't know my handle though.
Oh, all right. Tyler Wooldridge. We could probably look that up. I'll put it in the comments. But you have a golf business. You help do fundraisers for golf. Maybe you want to plug that while you're on here.
Yeah, so we do fundraising for golf tournaments here throughout the valley. Work with a lot of different nonprofits, First Tee organization, and all other nonprofits as well, not just golf related.
Yeah, and it's great. Tyler, he's being modest, but